Right, hello. Today is November the 2nd, 2024. This is, for some people, it's day two of Day of the Dead, Dia de Muertos. All Saints Day, All Souls Day is 2 days after Halloween. Basically, now is the time where a lot of people consider the veil to be extremely thin. And I have in spirit with me Gabby Petito. She has attempted to contact me before a couple of times, and I just haven't answered. um, Not for anything or any reason, I guess, in particular, maybe a little bit disturbed, just because of the manner in which she passed away. Um, I mean, she's not the first murder victim that I'll be speaking with, but she is the first murder victim who has ever reached out to me. Any other murder victims that I've done readings on or that I've spoken to in the spirit, um, it's been because I initiated, because I was being nosy. So I don't know what else there is to say because her case has been closed for a while. I didn't follow her case that closely when everything was happening. I remember seeing the headlines, and I watched a couple of things about it when it was happening in real time, and they were searching for her. And then when the boyfriend went missing and they were searching for him, I watched a couple of things. But for the most part, I got updates via headlines. I didn't really read into it a whole lot, and it wasn't that hard to figure out that she was gone and that the boyfriend did it. And that also was not surprising when the boyfriend took himself out. So, you know, I'm not sure what else there is to say at this point, but she wants to speak, so I'm going to give her the floor via the tarot, and then we will move on from there. So, do whatever it is that you do to protect yourself. Say your prayer, cleanse your hands, Florida water, cover your head, or wear your protective crystals, talismans, amulets. I'm just going to put a little of my special water. Putting good intentions and high vibrations into the atmosphere. I pray that Miss Petito comes in peace. I have good intentions. I come in peace, and so I pray that that is mutual. So, just want to confirm here in the room with me. Hold on. Hold on. I want to confirm that Gabby Petito is in the room with me. It's very nice to meet you, Gabby. Is, okay. Let's see if we can come to a stop. Is Brian with you? Okay. Good deal. So I don't think I want to talk to him anyway. Okay. So I want to switch to the cards now. And I'm going to try to keep this short. I'm going to try anyway. So I'll let you have the floor, ma'am. Okay. So like I was saying, I said I didn't follow that closely. I did, I said I did pay attention somewhat to the headlines. I know she was young, super young. Was she 22? Yeah, she's 22. And I have a laptop that's right here, and I've pulled up I've Googled her name, and so I'm looking at the search results. Well, no, I'm not the first person to do reading on this. I think this happened in 2020, 21. And so, 21, August of 2021. Oh gosh, she younger than my nephew. My nephew's born in 98. She's born in 99. That's crazy. I don't know, I'm getting kind of, just anxious energy from her. Like I said, I don't know what else is left to say at this point. I know there were tons of tarot readings and channelings and spirit boxes and stuff like that that were done back when this happened. I was reading tarot cards back then. I've been reading tarot cards for some years now, but I haven't really tried to do any celebrity readings or true crime readings or anything like that until, recent years. And as evidenced by my YouTube channel, I only recently started posting it. Like, as of this video, it's been less than a month since I posted my first reading that was about somebody who was well known. So, I don't chase trends. I write a blog, which is kind of crazy because people don't really read anymore like that. When I first started blogging years ago, it was a lot easier to get readers than visitors, but we live in the age of algorithms and stuff like that now. And so, but that's not the reason why I have a YouTube channel. When I started posting videos because I was asked to. But yeah, I don't chase trends and stuff, and so it'll be years before I finally find out about a TV show that everybody else watched and finished. Game of Thrones being one of them. Like, child, I'm making conversations, just nervous, anxious. Like I said, I don't know what it is she has to say. And I don't know that many details about the case outside of the very basic stuff that was shared in the headlines. I keep saying that because I just want to make it clear that anything I say that comes from these cards is alleged. And I don't know anything. Seven of Cups. So it's a disillusionment, or just having her head in the clouds, having all these ideas. I've taken a liking to this deck. I just got this deck like 2 or 3 days ago, and I love the imagery on here. Like the cups, the suit of cups represents the hearts, or it represents emotions, which is why they use the image of the heart instead of cups. And these hearts are on water, which water is associated with the cups, with the suit of cups. Anyway, this shows her heart all over the place. And so normally in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, there are cups. There are 7 cups that are sitting on some clouds, and each cup has a different thing in it. Different jewels, or what else is in there. I can't remember what all is on the cups, but the cups each have different contents. And so here we got, 7 different hearts that are scattered out. They're all rooted to somewhere, but they're scattered. They're just kind of all over the place, all over the water here. So it's like your heart is pulled in all these different directions. We have the sun, which, that could be optimism, that could be things coming to light, that could be, a lot of things. And depends on the deck that you use too, because each deck has its own imagery and energy. And we got the Four of Wands, which is normally representative of stability. When it's in reversed, it's instability. Six of Wands in reverse. Is that it? Yeah, Six of Wands in reverse. Six of Wands is usually a representative of victory and achievement, accomplishment. Here, this skeleton, this figure is in a stadium that's fully lit. It's like a soccer or football stadium. So, and all the lights are in the background, and they have all their candles in front of them. They're lit, and it's like they're being celebrated. They're in this place of great prestige and, place that people love. So this card shows up in reverse. We got the Nine of Wands, which, again, it depends on the deck. Traditional Rider-Waite is the person who's beat up, but they're still standing. And here it's depicted like somebody is taking a long journey and they got an uphill, I want to say uphill battle, but it's definitely an uphill trek. But there is light along the way, so it's not like you're just in the dark. But oh, and I just noticed this one is broken. This lamp that's right here in the front is broken. I love this deck, if y'all can't tell. Strength card is in reverse. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And then King of Wands. I don't know what his sign was. I'm not gonna look though. And then the Nine of Pentacles. It's kind of like seeing the fruits of your labor. Here it shows Santa Muerte having the whole world in her hands. It's like you got everything, all the material things. You have the earth in your hands. So here's what I'm getting. I feel like she really was crazy in love with that man. So crazy in love that she didn't know what to do. She didn't know what to do with herself. She saw this as this great opportunity. Now, again, like I said, I don't know. I haven't looked that deep into the case. So I don't know what was happening before. I'm pretty sure there were signs before they began their little road trip, their little van life thing of instability. And she just was missing it because she had on rose-colored glasses. Or she was ignoring it, which is why maybe her heart was pulled in different directions. But I am positive, just from being a grown lady who has been around the block a time or two, And also, aside from the school of life, I've also just been in school, period, and I've taken a few psychology courses over the years. And I've read a few books over the years to understand the human psyche. And, part of tarot, I will always say part of tarot is just psychology. But, they say your brain is not fully developed until you're in your late 20s. And Gabby was only 22. And so when you're a child, you tend to do childish things. So even though there were apparently signs, I don't know if they were outward. I don't know if they were outward. They probably weren't. Maybe on the outside they looked like they were good, cute little couple, maybe. But on the inside, they were struggling. There wasn't anything worth celebrating. Like the Four of Wands can also be a type of celebration card because when it's upright, like dinner is served. you know, dinner is served. The candles are lit. The table is set. Let's eat. But in this case, it's reversed, and so maybe I don't know if she had any warnings, if she had some friends who told her like, no, Brian ain't it. But there were signs. There were signs. And gosh, when you're 22, things are much bigger than what you think they are. Because I know when I got my heart broke when I was 21, 22 years old, it felt like the world was going to end. So she was going to stick beside him no matter what. She was going to abuse, name calling, emotional, mental abuse, physical abuse if there was any. Oh, I'm pretty sure there was if he killed her. I think he homicide by blunt trauma. So he beat her to death. And you got to be some kind of, if you're not in a boxing match, like what are you doing beating somebody to death? You got something going on in your head. But no, she was committed to this man. She was in there for the long haul. She was willing to climb all them steps that's in this picture right here. She was willing to climb all them steps, even though her lamp was broken. Probably literally, her lamp was broken. Whatever was her lamp, it was broken. But she was gonna climb them stairs. Poor thing. And I think that's what she's trying to get out. I think that's the message that she's trying to convey. This is a cautionary tale. Allegedly, because I'm allegedly speaking to Gabby Petito, or Gabby Petito was speaking through me, through the cards. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get a drink of water. But Gabby Petito speaking through me and through the cards. She felt like she was being weak. I don't know if it's so much that she was weak or if it was just that she was young. But she thought she was being weak. Like now, even like now, she is saying that she was weak. She was weak for this man. Right here. This man who, when it comes to, now I'm not that deep into astrology, right? But I'm just taking what I've gathered over the years about what the pentacles represent and Earth represents, right? Because Earth is like very material things. Now I'm not talking about money per se. I'm talking about hard, you can pick this up and touch it type material, right? No, I think I am gonna look up his birthday because now I gotta know. But the King of Wands is supposed to be, somebody who's good with like practical things and hands-on things, and in general, he's supposed to be a good man in most of the cases, but um, obviously he's not, or maybe it wasn't even so much that he was a bad man. Maybe he had some other issues going on. Do we have that? Is that information public knowledge? His birthday? I don't know. Oh, is he a Scorpio? No, yeah, he's a Scorpio, I think. Damn. Giving the Scorpios a bad name. Giving us a bad rap now. Anyway, so he's not an Earth sign, but the signs are not. I don't hold them to be absolute when it comes to these cards, but I do find it interesting whenever there's a connection there. Anyway, yeah, I think he's one of those that was supposed to be like, no, he's a good man. He's a good man, Savannah. And that's typically what I see whenever a King of Wands shows up. Now, I don't know how well he presented himself to their world, their friends, her family, and all of that stuff. I don't know if her mom ever said anything like, there's something off about that Brian. I don't know if she was ever warned about him, but maybe he did present himself to be at least somewhat decent. Yeah, to be somewhat decent and not some psychopath who would beat his girlfriend to death. Like, but he's somebody who would normally present as being a lot more grounded than what he actually was. It's like, you kind of got it. I don't want to say got it together because, like I said, they were young. She was 22 and he was 23, according to the search results. And but they apparently both worked very hard to make this road trip that they took together to make it happen. They both worked and they set a goal and they accomplished their goal to get the van and start this trek and have the YouTube channel and all of that. So, the Hierophant, which is in reverse, and that's interesting because the Hierophant usually represents like rules and rigidity and tradition and customs and doing things, and them being together, there's not even shacking up. That wasn't even a case of them just shacking up in a traditional sense of they moved in together before they were married and stuff. They were engaged according to this, but yeah, this was something that was different even for two young people. Oh, we're gonna get in a van and take a road trip together, a small van at that. Wasn't even a Sprinter van. Could at least got a Sprinter. But they were young and they worked regular, like just barely above minimum wage jobs, so in the service industry. Temperance is reversed, which is not hard to believe. It's imbalance, inequality. Um, Upright. This is depicted by this bird. I'm assuming it's an eagle, maybe, that's soaring high above everything. So it's soaring so high that it's up here by the moon. And then there are bubbles floating, like things are floating, and everything is supposed to be light and airy. And this person is walking on this tightrope in front of the sun, so everything is looking good, right? Well, no, not in reverse. When it's upside down like that, it's not. So what I'm saying is that it looked better, at least to her anyway. It looked better. Like she genuinely thought that he would never, and he def. Oh, he nevered, the poor thing. And then the Nine of Swords, it ended up being a lot worse than what she thought it was going to be. He nevered. Said she like, oh, he would never. Oh, he nevered. He did that. So the Temperance is followed by the Nine of Swords. Like he brought this to her. He brought all this discomfort and anxiety to her. I mean, they might have brought it to each other, but whatever the case, I'm speaking to her, once they got in that van and they got a few miles down the road, then maybe they got outside of their home state, she realized that it wasn't a good idea, but she was going to see it through. And see, the other thing that I like about this, or that I'm looking at this, I ain't gonna say I like it because I don't, but I'm looking at this. I read from left to right and then from top to bottom. So underneath the Seven of Cups is the Nine of Wands. And so this is, that disillusionment, head in the clouds, lots of options, heart being pulled in many different directions, or heart being extended in many different directions. And it's right above this this Nine of Wands. And so your heart is being extended or is being pulled into many different directions. But, you're going to take pretty much the hardest path that she could have possibly taken. And, dare I say, made kind of a foolish decision. I mean, she was definitely the victim. I'm not victim blaming. But I'm saying that, had Gabby had the chance to live to be older, she might have looked back on that and been like, no. The same way that I look at some of the things that I did when I was 21, 22, and I'm like, girl, like, thank God. God has always had my back because, I did put myself in some predicaments where, well, I won't say predicaments, but situations where it could have turned out way different than what it did. Sun shows up above the reverse strength card, and so, like, again, they present as being strong and optimistic and happy. That's the way they present. But on the inside, it's like, no, there's a lot of weakness there. There's a lot of weakness. And hindsight is 2020. We always look back on stuff and we say, oh, well, I knew. It's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And then above the King of Wands is this reverse four. Is this reverse Four of Wands. Did I call him the King of Pentacles earlier? I think I did. My bad. But yeah, it's this unstable man, literally unstable, and then this man right here, unstable. It's not good. Not good. And then we got the Six of Wands again. It's like we're not as victorious as we could be. This is all an illusion, We're not. We don't have it all together. All of our candles aren't lit. This is all an illusion. It looked like we got it together. It looks like we got a nice solid plan. We got the whole world in our hands, but no, we don't. Not really. So maybe I will read up on there's a lot of stuff that's on my list of things to do and to read and to watch in It just gets longer and longer every day. The same way I have all these spirits connecting or trying to connect with me, and that list gets longer and longer every day. So I'm not gonna make no promises, but it might be something that I might look into. That I might look into later. Actually, do a little bit more reading on this case to see if somebody did say that. If there's any friends or relatives of theirs who was like, "Yep, I knew the whole time that he wasn't no good." Anyway. Six of Pentacles, which is often like a give or take card, and this card right here, there's literally coins that are falling out of the sky, so it's like it's yours for the taking. It's like you can say it's somebody who's more benevolent, because when we look at things falling from the sky, it's like, oh, God is giving to us, right? Or this, what a lot of people associate, right? It's like God controls whatever comes from the sky, so it's like this benevolent being or entity is literally raining down coins, right? So, yeah. And then Five of Swords, which is conflict, regardless of whether that's upright or in reverse, there's conflict. I don't know if she feels like she gave him too much of her, or she was definitely rethinking things, though. Not before. I think she was kind of headstrong about going. Maybe, yeah, Yeah, I think she was kind of headstrong about going, but she, or like I said, once she was out there, then the moon is in reverse. There are still some things that maybe other people know, maybe the parents, and that's just going based off of what I know about the parents. I think they were trying to hide him or something at one point, and then he left, and that was when he took himself out. Yeah, there's some kind of knowledge that's not being revealed. Now, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And the Chariot in reverse. The Chariot can represent an actual vehicle of some sort. I also think of Chariot as like being battle ready, or going into battle, going into war, and like a strong leader or leadership type position. Somebody comes to the rescue, and whatnot. The fact that this is in reverse, this could be, it could just be the van. Like, yeah, that van wasn't as good of an idea as and I don't have any hang-ups about van life. I drove a van for a long time, for a few months. I drove a van, but I did it for work though. I lived and worked out of that van. And then the Lovers in reverse. So yes, honey. The Chariot, the vehicle being upside down, along with the relationship being upside down. It's like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. So yeah, this is her. This is her coming to grips with all of this stuff. She went out violently. And this is something I want to say real quick too. A lot of so-called readers and spiritualists and people like that, they will go after people who recently departed, which I already think is disrespectful. I'm like, this person don't even know they dead yet, probably, and you are already trying to pull on their spirit. Time and space are different on the other side, right? So you got to give folks time before you start trying to pull on them and call them, And so for us, it's been 3 years. This happened in August of 2021. This has been 3 years ago. For her, because space and time are different on the spiritual side, this happened this morning, you know, or it might as well have. And so she is coming to grips with whatever, with the things that took place. She is still learning her lessons. And I think that's what this is for. This is helping her to understand what went right and what went wrong. And in this particular case, as of right now, she's talking about what went wrong. And what she learned from it, and what she would like other people to take away from what happened to her. She is trying to heal. She is trying to heal. You know, I don't know if she's going to get a chance to come back and do it over again. She definitely wasn't ready to leave. But she's trying to put it all together, come to grips with this horrible, horrible situation, her horrible transition to the afterlife. And she wants other people, especially other young women, but anybody who might be in a situation like this, get out. I know it's easier said than done. And this is me speaking. I know it's easier said than done. I've been fortunate. I've never been in a relationship like that. I've never dealt with nobody trying to put their hands on me, or anybody calling me out my name, trying to make me feel bad about myself. I've never dealt with that. I've been very, very fortunate, and I think I got a dope spirit team. Like, my ancestors are the best. I feel extremely blessed in that regard. So like I said, I've never had to deal with that. But from what I understand, based on what I've heard people in domestic violence situations say, and the things that I've read in books over the years, my little armchair psychologist version of myself, you know, that stuff, it really messes with your brain on a physical level. Like, it throws off your body chemistry, your brain chemistry, and your brain is literally rewired, after you've encountered some stuff like that. Because it's like, I love this person so much, and I just know that they love me. Why would they treat me this way? Or, it's okay, he said what he said, so I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and we're going to be all right. And some people live for that toxic stuff. And in this case, it didn't, neither one of them lived. But this happens all the time, every day, and it don't get reported on the news. Or it might get reported, but there's not as much coverage. But this stuff happens all the time. And so I think this is me speaking, but also I'm feeling it from her that, we gotta do better about, just getting help and not being in positions like that, because the signs were there. In Gabby's case, the signs were there. It wasn't just like a switch just went off as soon as they got in the van and started driving. The signs were there for her, and she blew them off. She ignored them, unfortunately. And so she's saying that she knows she could have done things differently. The signs were there before they got in the van. Then they got in the van, a small enclosed space, where everything was amplified times infinity, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Seven of Swords. And see, this is a seven in a leather jacket, so it's very edgy. I mean, seven. There aren't any really good sword cards, in my opinion. Like, there's always conflict and death when it comes to the swords. Two of Swords in reverse. So yeah. So she's saying she made choices. There was conflict. She made choices. Four of Cups usually represents meditation or reflection. Can also represent apathy. But she made her choices, and she ignored them. You know, this was an opportunity that was not a good one. I don't know. Maybe she thought this was, aside from just being young, adventurous people, you know, I think maybe she thought this would be an opportunity for them to get closer. You know, maybe, oh, well, you got no choice but to talk now, so we're going to do this. What is this? The Knight of Swords reverse. No, that wasn't a good. Magician reverse. You know, he's a manipulator. He's a Two of Cups. So, and this Two of Cups follows beneath the Four of Cups. So it's like being apathetic about this relationship, or being deep reflection about this relationship. And then last but not least here, King of Cups. That's the water sign right there. And I'm laughing, you know, if you watch any of my other videos, I tend to laugh or chuckle a lot. I can't help it. It's just how I cope. It's a response. It's an automatic response and coping mechanism. It helps me to process things. But, yeah, she loved him. She did, or she cared a lot about him, and she didn't think he was that bad. She didn't think he would do that. But he did it. But he did it. She wished she hadn't went into that van with him. I don't know if she had a gut feeling. I don't know. I don't know if there were any warnings for her and she just ignored them or what. But if you happen to be in a situation like that and you see the signs, please do not ignore them. Any final words, Gabby, Petito? Reverse King of Pentacles. That's the King of Pentacles. I think I was calling that other card the King of Pentacles. Yeah, King of Pentacles, reverse. Six of Cups. And she's just still driving home the point that she thought this was a good man and he wasn't. See how the hearts are melting? You know, they're heart-shaped candles and they're lit, so therefore the hearts are melting. You know, they could also be a card of like nostalgia, just looking back, and you know, but it's like that fire, that passion. It can melt things. You know. And you got the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Poor planning. Poor planning. No no collaboration. Teamwork was not making the dream work because there was no teamwork. They were fighting. And then the death card in reverse. But here, I mean, the death card is not always a negative. But here, like I said, this transition came much sooner for her and in a very horrible way than anybody would have ever expected, especially her. I wish there had been something or someone that could have talked her into not going with him. It's like this lack of cooperation, the lack of collaboration, it led to the end of both of them, you know. So there's no known motive, according to this, for why he did what he did. And we don't know if he just had a mental break or what, or if he had always been an asshole. But the Queen of Cups, I think she might be calling herself the Queen of Cups. I don't know yet. And who the female is. What is her birthday? March 19th. What's that? Is that a Pisces? It is Pisces. It's a water sign. What is this? Knight of Wands in reverse. What did I say? He's a Scorpio. Oh, them two water signs, shit. Two very emotional people. Nine of Cups in reverse. Yeah. And then Queen of Swords. I don't know who this other female would be, if there is another female. If this is another female, this might be the one who told her not to talk to him. Yeah. She sees it now. She sees it now. And with this death card coming up in reverse, I think she's in a place of transition now where if she can get her story out, she can get this out, or she can get this off her chest, or she can have somebody to help her work it out, where she is making peace with it all, she's able to move on. She's able to move on and not be in that wherever she was at. I don't know if she's in some type of purgatory or what, but I think she's just finally coming to grips with everything. So she's okay. She's okay now. She wasn't always okay, but she's okay now. 10 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. It's like all her candles are lit. And it's a juggling act, which is what this person in the picture is doing. He's juggling all these flames, but they're lit. So whenever she comes back for round whatever it is for her next shot at life, she's gonna be ready. She's probably gonna be a lot more emotionally mature when she comes back. She's gonna be one of those kids that's wiser beyond her years. Yeah. The Four of Swords reverse. Yeah, she was forced into it, unfortunately, but and then the Hierophant. I know God to be real, but I don't always understand why God does different things or allows certain things to happen. I can't explain it. It's outside of my outside of my pay grade. You understand? Um, so I don't know if this is a trust the process type situation or what, but I pray that I was able to be helpful to you, Miss Petito. I pray that this was helpful and healing for you. Thank you very much, Gabby. I wish you the best. Bye.